Is this a distraction or is it true progress? How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about New York Governor Andrew Cuomo allegedly sexually harassing, I think, 11 women. I'm not sure what the number is. If I can find it, I'll place it on the screen before you, also in the box. But this comes after an investigation by New York State's Attorney Letitia James.
The independent investigation found that Governor Cuomo sexually harassed multiple women, many of whom were young women, by engaging in unwanted groping, kisses, hugging, and by making inappropriate comments.
The same person that's anti-Trump, never a Trumper. So it's not a conservative thing. That's a kind of right-wing attack on Andrew Cuomo. This is one of his colleagues, I suppose, saying, hey, you did this. Here's a report. Now, what are you going to say about it? Now, I have a lot to say about it. But first, let's look at Andrew Cuomo's response. He's already responded with a well put together piece. After we get done watching that, I'll come back. I'll talk about what he said there. Then I'll give you my 2 cents, my deep detail analysis, and then I'll wrap it on up with a nice bow on top. So without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
Other complainants raised against me questions that have sought to unfairly characterize and weaponize everyday interactions that I've had with any number of New Yorkers. The New York Times published a front page picture of me touching a woman's face at a wedding and then kissing her on the cheek. That is not front page news. I've been making the same gesture in public all my life. I actually learned it from my mother and from my father. It is meant to convey warmth, nothing more. Indeed, there are hundreds, if not thousands, of photos of me using the exact same gesture. I do it with everyone, black and white, young and old, straight and LGBTQ, powerful people, friends, strangers, people who I meet on the street. After the event, the woman told the press that she took offense at the gesture. And for that, I apologize. Another woman stated that I kissed her on the forehead at our Christmas party and that I said, "Ciao, Bella." Now, I don't remember doing it, but I'm sure that I did. I do kiss people on the forehead. I do kiss people on the cheek. I do kiss people on the hand. I do embrace people. I do hug people, men and women. I do on occasion say, "Ciao, Bella." On occasion, I do slip and say sweetheart or darling or honey. I do banter with people. I do tell jokes, some better than others. I am the same person in public as I am in private. You have seen me do it on TV through all my briefings and for 40 years before that. I try to put people at ease. I try to make them smile. I try to connect with them. And I try to show my appreciation and my friendship. I now understand that there are generational or cultural perspectives that, frankly, I hadn't fully appreciated. And I have learned from this.
All right, so you saw that, you heard that. Now, there's a lot I want to get into far beyond what was just in that video. But let's talk about the video first. I did not add any of those slides in there where he was hugging on people and kissing on people. I didn't add that. That was what they put out there from his feed. So I don't know if this is already pre-recorded and they edited it, because I don't know if he's able to respond to a thing live on camera, and then they intersperse those pictures. I feel like this was pre-recorded, not sure when it was done, and then they edited it and put it out to anticipate this report coming out. Maybe they were tipped off that it was coming out. I have no idea. But it's funny how Andrew Cuomo wants to hide behind this. Oh, I'm Italian. I stay Chabella, all this and that. You want to hide behind that like it's fine. But a lot of women are saying, hey, I don't feel comfortable. You sexually harassed me. So what about their feelings? It doesn't really matter. I'm Italian, so I'm going to kiss you whenever I want with no consent, and that's okay? Now, if that's okay, Andrew Cuomo, and that's your defense, then why were you so, why were you so eager to try and take down Brett Kavanaugh? Oh, I didn't forget about that. I did not forget. Let's go back to 2018. 2018, you were adamant about getting Brett Kavanaugh out of there for a variety of reasons. Well, of course, you know, the whole thing about Roe v. Wade, you want to keep that intact. I'm not sure why our governor's worried about the Supreme Court, but anyway, you're worried about Roe v. Wade. You want that to be intact, and you were believing these sexual harasser or sexual assault accusers against Kavanaugh. Talk about get on a polygraph and there needs to be an investigation. And until the investigation happens, there shouldn't be a vote going forward. You shouldn't confirm them. You were saying that like on television, on print and tweets and everything else. And I'll place one of those tweets on the screen before you. So you can't say you didn't say it. Now, here's a question. If there's an investigation about these sexual harassers, accusers, sexual assault accusers, and it comes back that he did do it, that there was some kind of sexual harassment or something like that, what's going to be the penalty? He couldn't be on Supreme Court? Oh, okay. So when there is an investigation into you and it comes back, not one, not two, but multiple women say that you sexually harassed them, what should be the penalty? Nothing, because you're Italian, it's just part of your culture. You can't play both sides of the fence. If you're going to say anything for one person, the same thing's got to be done for you. So what you should be doing rather than offering excuses is resigning. Huh? And I was reading a little bit on the Twitters and just the internet in general, and I'm saying that this could be some kind of criminal situation potentially. I'm not really sure about that. I think it'd probably be more of a civil thing, but it could go to criminal. If somebody says he kissed me without my consent, because in that tape, he's like, well, I don't remember if I did it, but I probably did. Talking about kissing somebody on the forehead without their consent. So you basically admitting to it. If they're saying that's some kind of sexual harassment or assault, you can go to jail for that. I'm not really sure how the laws would work, but maybe if you confess to a thing that somebody's accusing you of, and there's a criminal element that can be used against you, just maybe. Now, I would presume he would talk to a lawyer before he does something like this, obviously pre-planned videotape, but maybe he didn't, because sometimes, a lot of times, these politicians are just dumb. But to move a little bit forward, I think that this is largely a distraction, because let's not forget what Cuomo actually did, the bigger problem. The sexual harassment and whatnot, I'm not saying it's a small problem. I'm not trying to discount the feelings of the women that have come forward. Not at all. Please don't get it confused. However, there's a bigger issue, meaning the hundreds, if not thousands of seniors that were exposed to the virus and or died needlessly. Because let's not forget, Andrew Cuomo put COVID positive patients in a nursing home. Janice Dean from Fox News, both of her mother and her father-in-law both died in a nursing home in New York, thanks to Andrew Cuomo. Not only in New York City, but all over the entire state. It was a serious problem. And they had plenty of resources. They were giving all the money. Remember that ship that came out there that treated basically no patients? It was a whole hospital ship, hundreds of beds. But rather than using that, rather than doing common sense things, they put the seniors right in the nursing home with other COVID positive seniors. That's the bigger issue, in my humble opinion. Cuomo should not be in office. I mean, if not for the sexual harassment allegations that have been confirmed according to a report, I mean, I'm not really sure about any kind of criminal investigation or whatever, but the report says that he did it, and he says that he did it just misinterpreted because it's his culture, the Italian or whatever. Aside from that, You have the whole nursing home scandal to deal with. That's kind of like not being spoken about, swept under the rug, all this and that. And then they got the audacity to talk about vaccine mandates. Really? Why are you, Andrew Cuomo, talking about mandates? You can't even keep nursing homes safe, which is a controlled environment. How are you going to keep the general public safe with a mandate? You're going to have a different medical crisis on your head, aside from the one that you already did with the nursing homes. So you should just stay out of it, stay low key, but you insist on being out there. You want to be Sam Rothstein, getting the limelight, want to be on television with your brother Chris. It's a whole big mess. But as I close, I want to say this. I'm not really sure how Andrew Cuomo was able to stay in office after all this has happened. The sexual harassment allegations that have come back in a report to be confirmed, according to the report, the nursing home scandal, and just not being a good governor in general. How do you stay in office? Oh, is it because you are on the left? And it's fine. Whatever you do with something that's wrong, that's cool, no problem. If you say that someone should be held from an office if they're investigated and then the results come back that they did a thing that was inappropriate toward women, if you think they shouldn't be in office, but you should, obvious hypocrisy, hypocritical, liar, just a bungled governor term. That's what Andrew Cuomo brings to the table. That is his legacy, period. But we'll see. I mean, as of right now, he's not left office. He's not resigned. But let's check back at the end of this week, maybe even a few minutes or hours from now, and see what happens. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? How do you feel about Andrew Cuomo and this whole sexual harassment allegation report? I mean, do you think that he did do something? Did he not do something? Whatever your thoughts on that are, let me know in the comments below. Is it a distraction from the actual issue or the bigger issue? I'm not saying these two things are not. I'm just saying there's a bigger issue and a nursing home scandal. Why are we not talking about that? I'm seeing everywhere on the news, they're talking about sexual harassment allegation, report this, report that, all this and that and the third. What about the seniors that died in the nursing homes? What about Janice Dean and her mother and father-in-law? What about everyone that has lost people in the nursing homes due to Andrew Cuomo's incompetence? How about that? You guys pretty much know where I'm at. I think this guy has got to be the worst governor in the country, not just because I'm a conservative and I'm biased, but look at what he's done. Look at what he's done. Look at what he does. Look at the excuses. Look at the lack of personal accountability. Look at the obvious corruption. Just, it's a terrible governorship. The guy's got to go. And I feel for you if you live in New York. I really do. You got some bad leadership, especially in New York City. You got a bad governor and a bad mayor. Hopefully you can be free from that sometime soon. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.